Hello, everybody. I had a random thought this morning. I was like, what if basketball games had, different height classes? So, like how UFC has different weight classes. What if the NBA has different, like, height classes? So it's like there's different divisions, and, the shorter people that are, like, still good at basketball, like, that would never get into the major leagues, would be eligible, because they're all like in the same, like, height class. And there's not going to be one that would be like taller than I don't know, the like it won't have like a huge discrepancy. I don't know, just something to think about. I mean, like, think about it, like the Filipinos, they love basketball, but I mean, not a lot can grow super tall or had the genetics to like Michael Jordan and everything, but they have the drive for it. So I feel like maybe if there was like a lower standard type of thing, it would be fun to watch, just because like everybody's in their like same-ish average like class or whatever. Yeah, I just think it's just so unfair, like, just because you can't grow a couple inches more, right? But I guess tall people have their downsides as well, like they prefer more leg space or whatever. I guess I don't understand what that feels like. But either way, yeah, just something to think about. Or it's probably completely dumb, like most of my freaking ideas. uh, um, I just heard like a bird screeching outside. I don't know if you guys can hear, but yeah, there's a lot of wildlife here in Florida, and I love it. Yeah, because there's not much in Macau. Most of the wildlife in Macau are dead because it's so polluted there. And if you don't know, it's because uh, the Chinese government made like artificial land around Macau to make it bigger, so that it will be more like tourist friendly. There's gonna be, so there will be more hotels in that like specific strip that they made looking like Las Vegas. So that's why they call it the Asian Las Vegas. But hey, still not much know about Macau, because nowadays I still have to say it's beside Hong Kong. But I'm also surprised, like pretty surprised on how some people know what Macau is, or have been to Macau too. They're like, oh yeah, I visited Macau when I was in Hong Kong. Like, it's an hour ferry away. I'm like, correct. It's just annoying to say like I'm from Macau and say, oh yeah, it is beside China and Hong Kong, when I look like this. If y'all don't know, there's a lot of Filipino or Indonesian or just, my type of Asian, like brown Asian, that are like labor workers usually, or just expat workers. I feel like just working out of your country, even if it doesn't pay better, or if in the end, like, the maybe the money kind of like balances out, like when it's not about the money, and it's about experience, you'd want to go. But it's usually because they pay way more, places that are more like booming, more city like, more how to say, more established, because Philippines being third world country, they do it a lot. They have OFW, they call them OFWs, overseas Filipino workers. I am that technically, just because I am a resident of Philippines, even though I was born in Macau. Like, I was born in Macau, but they spat me out. They're like, sorry, your parents have to be residents for you to be resident. And so yeah, I'm just gonna be Filipino then, since my mom is Filipino and I love my mom. So I love my dad too. That's why I said I just followed with half Sri Lanka, and after I was like, oh, should I get dual? But I think with Filipino passport, you can't have dual. Or I remember my dad saying like, for what? It's worse than, it's the worst one of the worst, like that, like of visa purposes, you know, like the Philippine passport better. I was like, okay, I see the point you're trying to make, and I took it, and it's true. It's true. Filipino passports are probably just a little better than Sri Lankan passports in terms of visa wise. I remember I would have to take trips to Hong Kong to get my dad's renewed passport back over for him, because he wouldn't have a passport to go through to Hong Kong, like, because you need to go through immigration to go Hong Kong. So if he would have done it by himself, he would have to get a place to stay there or stay overnight somewhere, because that's what, like, seriously, that's like a little bit BS. But I kind of went through that when I had to go to the American embassy, because the closest American embassy is in Hong Kong. They don't have in Macau. Is that why not a lot of you guys want to come over? Because there's no protection? I'm just kidding. Macau's very safe. Like, it's actually one of the safest places ever. We go out, like, me and my friends, we would go out to like 6 a.m., 9 a.m., come home and sleep it off. It's just like it's a small town, and it's like, but the town is a city. And you can literally drive everywhere within an hour. No traffic though, you know. There's a lot of traffic. That's the thing, it's the city. You know, but at nighttime, if you want to drive every bit of Macau, an hour, 2 hour, like, it's okay. It's enough. It's sufficient. It's so hard, like, when foreigners come over, or, you know, we meet some tourists, they would be like, oh, what is there to do around here? Not much, really. Well, in Asia, you can drink off the street, so we would buy liquor in like 24-hour stores and just drink it by the park, you know, get bitten by mosquitoes. The climate there is almost kind of like Florida, I would have to say, but except there's no nice beaches, because I've mentioned the polluted oceans. It's disgusting there. And not too long ago, they found out that the water is contaminated, so don't even attempt to go in there. And you know, we used to have dolphins in there, pink dolphins in Macau, and they're all gone because of the dirt. Yeah, Macau used to be a fisherman's island, and now it's a casino black hole for mainland Chinese people. Mainly. Well, obviously for everybody else too, but it's like, it's mainly for them. You'll know what I mean when you're in those hotels. Like, you can see their top clientele is the mainlanders, the luxurious ones, the ones that can span. Then there's those tour buses that carry like hundreds of them. I don't know about now though, because of the COVID situation. Macau being so small, they freak out when there's like one case of COVID, and I think that happened like a few days ago. There was like 4 cases, and it's like mass testing everywhere. Like, you're required to get your nasal swab because 4 people tested positive. Now everybody get out of your house and get tested. Like, that literally happened, and people were in line for like 6 hours or like hours just to get tested because of that. And if I wanted to go back to visit, I would have to quarantine for 28 days. Then after quarantining for 28 days, 10 days at the hospital being observed. And that's like quarantining in Macau. If I were to come, like, flights to Macau are not a lot. So usually we'd come in from Hong Kong and then take the ferry to Hong Kong. So they say also when you get to Hong Kong, you gotta quarantine 20 days to 20, right? Then 28, Macau, that's 48. That's already freaking past my travel visa stay of my Filipino passport, which is 30 days, by the way. And Yeah, I'm not even gonna see my family. Perhaps like there's ways around it or stuff like that, but right now it's just so unstable there. I miss the food, I miss the cheap food, I miss my family, I miss my friends, like, but they made it impossible to go back. And I'm just hoping it'll get better soon. Soon. Because I need to reconnect with that part of me where, yeah, with me. With Cantonese as well. I feel like I don't remember much, like, 講廣東話. Uh, 廣東話請按一字. That's all I can say in my head. The first thing. That's like, you know, those are those recorded calls when they go like, oh, press 1 for Cantonese. That's like the first thing I can remember. But if someone would talk to me right now, I don't know if I can legit speak Cantonese. Like, it will be a little slow, but I think I'll eventually get it. Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys, have a good day. Yeah, don't be a bum. And well, I'm a bum. I feel like I procrastinate so much, so much that even the water that I poured in, like, the filter thing, like, we're supposed to, like, after filling it up, put it in the fridge. I didn't even put it in the fridge, I just left it there. Whatever, we'll drink temperature water, it's fine. All right, basketball, high classes, think about it, okay? Think about it. Bye.